Collusion of the century, DOJ, CCP, and big media's conspiracy to take down Miles Guo. On March 15, 2021, half an hour before the Justice Department first published on its website an unsealed indictment and the arrest of Miles Guo, Bloomberg had already published an 1,200-word article detailing SDNY's allegations against Mr. Guo. It's apparent that Bloomberg knew about this then-still sealed indictment before DOJ released it to the public. Michael Bloomberg praised Wang Qishan, vice president of China and the first CCP official publicly exposed by Mr. Guo in 2017, as the most powerful man in the world. With a background like this, it's unsurprising that the outlet was tipped off in advance about the CCP's latest attempt to take down Guo with the help of traitors inside the DOJ. When the CCP infiltrated DOJ, manipulated Mr. Guo's bankruptcy proceeding and installed Luke Despens as the DOJ-appointed trustee, Despens used this opportunity to attempt to extort $250 million from Mr. Guo, threatening to send Miles to jail using his connections at the DOJ, SEC, IRS, and the court system. A partner at Paul Hastings LLP, Despens is an exposed CCP proxy whose law firm is blessed with billions of dollars annually representing CCP state-owned enterprises. This is the collusion happening right in front of our eyes, a conspiracy by traitors inside U.S. federal government working with Wall Street billionaires and the CCP to take out their most feared man, Miles Guo, who gave up his family's security and billions of dollars in assets in China only to dedicate his entire life to the eradication of the CCP. When Judge Catherine H. Parker sat on the bench to preside over the scheduled arraignment of Mr. Guo, she had apparent concerns about the U.S. prosecutors withholding critical information from Mr. Guo and the court, specifically information regarding the U.S. government's collaboration with the Chinese government. Answering Judge Parker, the New York prosecutors, under pressure, disclosed that the prosecutors' team had worked a lot with China throughout the investigation of Mr. Guo. Indeed, leaving aside that Mr. Guo has not even resided in China since at least 2017. The fact that the U.S. prosecutors felt comfortable working with a lawless tyranny like the CCP to criminally prosecute Mr. Guo, the regime's most feared enemy, on American soil should scare every American. The DOJ has an ugly history of being infiltrated and weaponized by the CCP, specifically against Mr. Guo. In 2017, George Higginbotham, then senior congressional affairs specialist at the DOJ, traveled to Shenzhen, China, to secretly meet with Sun Lijun, vice minister of public security, to plot a scheme to force Mr. Guo's return to China. Higginbotham also walked into the Chinese embassy in D.C. to meet with Ambassador Cui Tiankai in advancement of the same scheme. That same year, in 2017, Minister Sun and several other high-ranking CCP officials also traveled to the U.S. to try to illegally remove Mr. Guo from American soil. But Sun and Higginbotham are simply pawns of someone much more powerful. When President Xi met with President Trump in 2017, she personally requested Mr. Guo's return to China, even offering a new assistance package to North Korea in exchange. In the 6 years following 2017, the CCP has infiltrated law firms, attorneys, and judges involved in the regime's unrestricted lawfare against Guo, hacking the computers of the law firm, preparing Guo's political asylum application, and compromising judges and lawyers. Given the DOJ's own infiltration and the CCP's relentless attacks, the public ought to ask, what is the extent of the DOJ's collaboration with the Chinese government in Mr. Guo's prosecution? Without a doubt, the malicious prosecution of Miles Guo by the Southern District of New York and the SEC sparked more controversy about the DOJ's own infiltration by the CCP than the merits of the baseless allegations. Working in any capacity with the Chinese government regarding Mr. Guo's case would be the modern equivalent of the U.S. government working with the Nazis to persecute Jewish Americans during World War II. The CCP is the #1 threat to U.S. national security, and they are being helped from within by traitors inside the American government.